A trove of information released in the Russian investigation from Special Counsel Robert Mueller outlines the level of cooperation from Michael Cohen and from Paul Manafort. New court filings shed light on how closely the president's team was in contact with Russian officials and others linked to the Kremlin. A lot of details coming out from this investigation, and joining me to discuss all of this, civil attorney and former federal prosecutor Kristan Peters-Hamlin. And Kristan, you worked with Robert Mueller at the Justice Department. That is a man that's name is omnipresent right now, but we really don't see him or hear from him. We don't hear him talk. Help us understand the man behind one of the most, if not the most, consequential investigations that's in modern political history.
Well, I think your viewers, Jessica, should be should know that he is a man who's committed to the highest ideals of the Justice Department. He is impartial in his execution of the Department of Justice's missions. He's a very principled man of integrity. He's a great strategic thinker, and he's got a laser-like focus.
Right. And you've said there is not a single person in the entire country who would be more skilled and perfect for the special counsel position. You kind of elaborated why that is, but what makes you say I can lavish that kind of praise on this person?
Well, if you think about his background, what he did bringing him to this point, he's a man who has been appointed by 4 different presidents to the highest offices in the Department of Justice by 2 different parties. So his impartiality has been basically endorsed by both parties. He has served for 12 years as the head of the FBI, 10 years under George Bush, the 43rd president, and 2 years under Barack Obama. He has served in 3 different United States attorneys' offices, 3 of some of the biggest and most important: San Francisco, Boston, and Washington, D.C. He had served under Dick Thornburgh as the Deputy Attorney General of the United States on an acting basis, and also as the head of the criminal division. So he just has an incredible background that he's brought to bear for this mission.
And I hear you have a little anecdote that you think really describes him well. What is that?
Well, he was somebody who was at the top of the Justice Department as an acting attorney general, and then as the head of the criminal division. And then when he left office after Bill Clinton was elected, he was working in private practice for a while and really just missed the mission of the Justice Department. So he came back to the Washington, D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office as a line assistant, and that would be kind of the equivalent of being a general and then signing up to be a private because you want to be there when you're storming the beaches of Normandy. I mean, who does that but somebody who has humility and who is all about the job, not about himself. It's never about him, it's about the mission.
Yeah, it sounds, you have also talked about like he really is devoted to country and that's a very important thing for him.
I think that he loves his country and loves the Justice Department, and he's a very inspiring person in terms of his high ideals.
And so as you watch this unfold, you see all the things, all the developments that came out yesterday, big developments in all of this. What runs through your mind as you're watching him kind of begin to, bring this all to fruition?
Well, I'm not surprised. Bob is a masterful prosecutor, and the FEC violations that are very, very obvious. The obstruction, the Russian interference, the conspiracy to defraud. These are very complicated matters and very varied matters, and all of them have been put on his desk. And so I'm not at all surprised that he's tying together in these days this very complex web of corruption in the Trump campaign and Trump administration.
Well, Kristan, thank you so much for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Vicki. Jessica.